Hey, I'd like to welcome you to another episode of Mission Matters. My name is Adam Torres, and if you'd like to apply to be a guest on the show, just head on over to missionmatters.com and click on Be Our Guest to apply. All right, so today I have Justin Futrell on the line, and he's a benefits advisor at True North Companies. Justin, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Adam. I'm excited to be here.
Oh man, Justin. So excited to have you on the show today and really to get into this topic. So, a lot of business owners, entrepreneurs, and executives watch this show. Many of them have healthcare plans and benefits packages for their employees and their staff. But really, the true opportunity and what's possible. I feel like that's something that we don't talk about too often. So I'm excited to get your advice and also to get your input into the industry and what you're seeing. But before we do that, we'll start this episode the way that we start them all with our Mission Matters Minute. So Justin, we at Mission Matters, we amplify stories for entrepreneurs, executives, and experts. That's our mission. Justin, what mission matters to you?
I'm glad you asked, Adam. The mission that matters to me is being on a quest to impact millions of lives, personally through clean water initiatives and professionally as a benefits advisor, and working with leadership teams to help them elevate their ability to improve their investment in their people.
It's awesome. Love bringing mission-based individuals on the line to share why they do what they do, like what excites them, what motivates them, how are they making a difference in the marketplace. So awesome to have you on. And I do want to get into some of these clean water initiatives and really talk about how you're doing that, specifically in Tanzania. I mean, I got lots to talk about on that one. But before we do, I want to know, how did you get on this kind of mission-based path, like in terms of helping people in healthcare and otherwise? Like, where did this start for you?
I must give credit to the CEO of True North, Jason Smith, and he helped me really recalibrate a little more each year as I've done these water projects to how personally and professionally these things are interconnected. And we think about purpose. We have a purpose, and purpose drives profits. And at the same time, profits drive purpose and the impact we're able to make. And interconnecting these two passions of mine, I just have so much energy. Let's just leave it at that now.
It's awesome. Love the energy. So let's dive before we get into the benefit sides of things, because I do want to give some, tangible tools and some education to the audience, specifically about benefits and what can help them and their companies, of course. But I cannot neglect the clean water initiatives in Tanzania that you're working on. And I saw the YouTube video. We'll put a link to that video. So everybody watching this, don't worry, we'll put a link to that video in the final show notes so you can just click on it and check out the video. But 75,000 pull-ups, am I off? Like, tell me some more.
You nailed it. Did that catch your attention?
Man, that's a lot of pull-ups. I saw the video and I saw one person's hands, and then I saw even the people, like the guy on who was the guy on the tree? Come on, there's all kinds of good ones.
Yeah, it was so awesome, Adam. We had 1,300 people. Wow. Everyone from individuals to teachers who took the initiative in their gym class, in their Spanish class, to say, hey, let's actually take a little bit of our class time today to think about people across the world. And let's raise awareness for clean water so that we can do our part in helping those kids in another part of the world. And I think that is so cool, because it started out with just me, Adam. I tried to do 1,000 pull-ups in one day. And now we have over 1,000 people doing 75,000 pull-ups to raise awareness and money for clean water.
So hold on, this started with just you. Tell me a little bit more about that backstory. You just decide one day, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do 1,000 pull-ups. I'm gonna, donate. Like, tell me more of this.
Okay, I'm thinking. I don't want to go too far into the details to get us off track, but the fact of the matter is, I was in a long distance relationship, and my partner said, hey, I know we're long distance right now, but I'm actually thinking about going even further to Thailand, because I feel this calling to get involved with the grassroots organization. And so that desire, that calling actually challenged me to reflect oh, okay, what am I passionate about?
Yeah.
And that's actually what started this. I had a lot more time on my hands, so I could train to do pull-ups. And I thought, well, I got to do something to catch people's attention because
Mm,
there's so many great fundraisers out there in the world. So how
yeah.
do we catch people's attention? And crazy high pull-up numbers has worked over the last 4 years.
Man, and I see the progression. So this started with yourself, and now what was grassroots movement. I mean, it's a movement now. So 75,000 pull up, the amount of money raised. Maybe let's talk about where this money is going to and why. Like, tell me a little bit more about the problem, because I don't want to assume everybody understands, the importance of clean water. Maybe some populations that don't always have access to it.
Yeah, yeah. Well, thank you for the kind words. And
Mhm.
going back to the original why, I
Mhm.
had the opportunity to learn in college, studying abroad in East Africa, how
Mm,
important, how integral clean water is to create opportunities for people's lives. And
mm,
we think about school. Well, you're not going to be focused on school if you don't even have water. And
yeah.
in addition to that, you might have to walk a couple hours each day. Mainly women and children are the ones who
Mhm.
are fetching water, and it might not even be clean to where they have to
Mm,
walk to get water. And it's not just Tanzania. That's just where I have personal experience. So that's where my passion lies. We're actually, the focus has been on one region so that we could just grow village by village in this region to truly help impact the lives in the most impoverished region of Singida in Tanzania. And so, what it looks like, we have partners. Tanzania Water Fund raises the money in the United
yeah.
States, and we have a partner, World Serve International. They're the boots on the ground.
Mm,
They're the incredible partner that is creating 16-month long community development plans so that it's not just like,
wow.
hey, here's water. It's, hey, here's the skin in the game that we need you to do, and here's what we're going to have in return. And then let's start taking it to the next level. Let's talk about having irrigation in our crops
Mm,
for the first time. Let's talk about having running water in our hospital clinic for the first time ever. And
wow.
so it trickles into healthcare. It trickles into giving women more time to be a part of the family income. And
Mm.
so it's exciting to see each village take on their own path forward with these projects.
Yeah, that's exciting. And now you're in your, I believe, fourth year. Is that right? In?
We've done 4 fundraisers so
Wow.
far. So we've raised $175,000, and that's impacted roughly 35,000 lives.
That is amazing. All started with some pull-ups. Come on, man. That's
Come
amazing.
on. It is. And wow, people want to be a part of it. And I think the biggest lesson for me was in year 2 when
Mm,
I let go. I'm like,
mm,
okay, this isn't my thing anymore. I want other people, whatever they think of, to
yeah,
just run with it.
yeah.
Create your own thing within it.
Man, there's so many lessons in what you're going, what you've done in doing this. I feel like for businesses, when you talk about that letting go, whether you're growing or
Mm,
scaling a business, whether you're bringing other people involved, whether you're getting executives involved, all the things
mm.
that you've learned on this path, I feel like they directly translate into business. A grassroots movement. You could say that was your startup, right? That was your startup, and you had a goal that you want to achieve. And every step of the way, and at first you were starting, by yourself, then you involve more people, then it grows, and you figure out how you can make a bigger difference, and then it keeps growing, right?
Wow. Adam, I have never thought about it like that. And that's so true.
Yeah, especially that letting go part. Like when a company or when a grassroots movement or a nonprofit, I mean, these are all just terms we use,
Mm,
but an idea, it's all centered in an idea, whatever that idea is. When you let it go, when you involve more people, some magic can happen. Like this is exciting. And I'm getting involved in year 5. So next year I'm in. I wasn't
come
just
on.
saying that, by the way. We put out I know we promoted the YouTube video that you did on our newsletter, and we're going to continue to promote and help do what we can do. And we got to get this Mission Matters community over here. I want people doing pull-ups. I'm in.
That's right. Do pull-ups, donate money, do both, whatever feels right to you. That's the goal. But you have my mind spinning, Adam,
Yeah.
just thinking about this this metaphor from the Clean Water Project and its evolution to companies that I work with. And I think of leaders who I'm engaged in conversations with, and how many times have I heard the words, "That's just what we do"?
Yeah.
How many times have I heard the words, "That's not possible. We can't do that. That wouldn't work here." And wow, how important is it to be open-minded so that you can continually scale, become more efficient, and hit the growth goals that you have?
It's awesome. And I think there's a good transition because I do want to get into the benefit sides of what you're doing and how you're helping employers. But let's maybe kind of paint the landscape a little bit on your methodology. Because first off, I mean, in the benefits field, I mean, I believe you're over 6 years in the benefits field. So you've been doing this a long time now, and you work with a lot of companies. And I know that sometimes you see maybe opportunity where employers don't necessarily see it. Like they may see some problem areas, or they may think that it's like you just said, like it's status quo, right? Like we've always done things this way, or it has to be this way. But a lot of times you're able to see opportunity there. Maybe start off by just telling us a little bit more about your practice and what you do. Let's start there.
Yeah, awesome. Well, let me just start at the 30,000-foot view and help the listeners understand who True North is. So True North is an insurance brokerage and consulting services firm. We're headquartered in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. We've got about 500 employees strategically located around the country. And our vision is to create a legacy company with an entrepreneurial platform that attracts, develops, and coordinates high-performing talent and opportunities. And I like to share that because in the last 12 months, we've had so much growth. People who want to be a part of an entrepreneurial platform that's truly making a difference in people's lives. And I think something we'll get into later, Adam, is the workforce right now. And employees want to be seen, they want to be heard, and they want to work for a company who shares similar values. And so our mission at True North, I had to provide this on the Mission Matters podcast, Adam.
You better. Don't hold out.
Our mission is to protect and maximize companies and people with their assets, resources, and opportunities. So if we break that down, you think about insurance, and you buy insurance to protect yourself. On the flip side, what's often not a part of conversations is, how do we maximize this investment? Because healthcare benefits, that's what it is. It's an investment in your people. So how do we maximize those dollars? And opportunities is my favorite, as you can imagine. And now bringing it a layer down, we think about the U.S. healthcare system. And in 2021, you can appreciate there's a little bit of lag, but it's estimated that we're going to top $4 trillion in healthcare spend. That's the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services that's projecting that. And take it another layer down, and the Institute of Medicine did this monster research project in 2019. And they identified, Adam, that 20 to 25% of an entire spend, so a huge chunk of spend, is wasteful spend in the U.S. healthcare system.
That's significant.
So it's significant, and it's mind-blowing. Right? So now take it another layer down, applicable to an actual company. Let's say Mission Matters has 500 employees, right? Once you throw in kids and spouses to health plans, you're looking at healthcare and benefits that's going to cost roughly $5 million, a $5 million investment every single year. And if I'm the leader of a 500 employee company or someone on the leadership team, I think, wow, if there's 20 to 25% of this $5 million that I could maximize and save on, well, that's a significant opportunity. And here's where my passion comes in, Adam, with the workforce and the people and the struggle to attract and retain good people. Let's finance investing in our people with getting more control of healthcare costs. Let's just capture this easy win and better maximize our dollars in investing so that we can have productive and engaged people who want to work for us.
Yeah. Well, when you say it like that, it sounds like pretty common sense, right?
Right. And so that I think that's part of the problem. I'm trying to think who said it, but they said so many people, CFOs, HR directors, VPs of HR, they put healthcare in this black box.
Mm-hmm.
And they say that's just the way it is. That's what we have to do. And when we start to think outside the box, we can do so much.
Where do you think, and I guess you'd say, why aren't more people kind of reevaluating or considering that, like how to maximize? Because I don't, obviously, like leadership's not doing this necessarily intentionally. Is it lack of knowledge of what's possible? Like, I mean, what have you found in your experience?
A couple of things come to mind. The first is relationships. Some people have an immense value on their business relationships to the point where it's not business, it's a personal relationship. And where the second thing that comes to mind, and then I'll break the two down, is they just truly don't believe there's a better way. And I don't know if that comes down to open-mindedness. I don't know if that comes down to getting burned in the past with personal experience, but we're able to attack each of these problems in a different way. At least I think so. And the first way is those close relationships. I don't want to break up your best friend.
Yeah.
I don't want you to be the reason you don't have another friend. But here's what I can tell you. It will make sense to have a transparent consultant that you're paying a fee to in addition to that close relationship, and you can still save your company money. We've seen it and we've done it.
Yeah.
The second thing is people who just don't believe there's any other way. And to me, it's just an opportunity to be consistent and persistently add value. The Tuesday morning podcast that I like to do.
Yeah.
Let's just educate people so that they can learn on their own time, much like with what you do. Hey, here's a podcast. Listen to it whenever you want. I don't want to interrupt you.
What is the hiring a consultant, going at it alone? I mean, for some that have hired consultants maybe in other fields, they may say, oh, okay, that's obvious. Like, yeah, of course we have a consultant that comes in we're a manufacturer and we want to put in a new piece of equipment and we want to do an analysis. And if it makes sense, we might get some consulting done, right? But for healthcare, on that side, like I feel like that might be a little bit of a new concept for some that are watching this. Can you kind of maybe give some benefits of what it looks like to work with a consultant to design something?
Yeah, certainly. The first thing that comes to mind is having data to make a decision, right?
Yeah. Data's important. Data's important. Like you wouldn't have this data otherwise.
Right. So if I'm you, Adam, and you're the leader of this company, 500 employees, we'll just stick with that same analogy. I'll try to do it throughout so we don't confuse anyone who doesn't like numbers, because I can appreciate that not everyone does like numbers. If I'm in your shoes, there's a good chance you don't even know how much I make as your benefits broker. That's changing with new laws, the Consolidated Appropriation Act, but it's a shame. It's a crime, I think, that brokers don't have to disclose up to this point what they're making. And so you don't know any different is my first thought. And so you just assume that we get paid what we're supposed to. When I like to flip the script, and that's what we do at True North. We say, hey, we're going to get rid of all commissions. Let's not think about insurance as we care how many people in your company elect insurance. What we care about is being your business partner. We want to provide systematic education. We want to be there for your people when they need it. And we want to help you make strategic decisions that best position our people to get high quality, affordable healthcare. And once we shift the conversation of, we're not a salesperson, we are an advisor, we are your business partner. That's where the conversation is like, oh yeah, consulting fees make sense.
What's the opposite? So and not to pick on anybody, obviously, like I'm not claiming that other benefits advisors that are, out there working on a different model aren't doing great work, or they're not, they don't have their clients' best interest in mind, which by the way, I'm not saying you're saying that either, But like, what's the, like, just the system? Like, how is it on the other side? Like, what's the typical experience? Because I feel like even you just kind of talking about the typical versus what you just mentioned, like, that's going to be eye-opening alone for some out there. Because getting back to that idea of this is just the way it always is, or this is the way it's supposed to be, like, this may be new information in itself.
Yeah. I got a couple of thoughts running through my mind. So I think being most purposeful with the answer, we start with, hey, this is a problem. We have this mutual agreement that this is a problem, and let's figure out how to make it an opportunity. And then after we both have the agreement there, we say, hey, what are you doing today? What is your broker doing for you today? And let's go from there.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, last night at a Denver Chamber of Commerce event, Adam, I had some lady come up to me and say, hey, we're looking for a new broker. And I'm thinking, oh, okay, this is probably a small business with 10 people. And I'm going to have to tell her that, that I'm sorry, I don't work with small groups because it's a commodity in that space right now. I work with employers with 100 or more employees, usually to a couple thousand, because that's where we make the most impact.
Yeah.
And she said, we have 450 employees.
Nice.
I said, full time? And she said, yeah. I was like, well, what do you want a new broker for? What's going on?
Yeah.
And the first thing she said was, it's been a mess. And, we don't think we're that needy. We just want our employees to be taken care of when they have a problem. And we want advice. And anyone should be doing the first one. That's easy.
Yeah.
It's easy to just provide customer service. And she said, you would be surprised.
Wow.
And I that was just mind-blowing to me. So I think it comes down to there are brokers out there, apparently, who aren't taking the time to provide good service. And advice is a whole nother concept. But I think it usually comes down to the business model. Adam, if I could just take 1 minute here and help people understand.
And that's what I want, by the way. I want to understand the business model because I feel like the model at True North is unique. So to kind of be able to compare those.
Yeah. So think about this. There used to be 2 ways to buy insurance. One, your local insurance agent. Think of your State Farm agent, your local insurance person. Great relationships, probably not a lot of resources. Then we have the big box firms. We have Marsh, we have Lockton, Gallagher. There are companies that do really great things for their big clients. There's this mid-market space, Adam, that really is 100 to a couple thousand employees where they just get lost in the mix. They've either been with their local broker forever or they've been with a big box firm and they don't get much value because it's not worth this big box firm's time because they have Fortune 500 companies that they're working with.
Yeah.
And so True North is, we believe we're the true solution in the middle where we can have that relationship, but also we have the resources to provide that value. So we're not just saying, hey, we'll take all these insurance commissions. We're saying, hey, here's the outline of the 5 big problems that you need to solve right now. And we're going to solve them. Does that help?
It does help. So it's the best of both worlds. You get the relationship and you get the service. Sounds like the best of both worlds, right? For the middle market.
For the middle, exactly. And we don't try to get outside of our lane. I'm not targeting a company with 20,000 employees. We're not going to provide the most value there. But rest assured, anyone in that middle market, we got good things coming for you.
That's what I like to hear. So if somebody's watching this and they're rethinking this, so maybe this shook something in their mind. They're like, we haven't looked at the benefit side of this in a little bit. I heard this podcast, right? This is how a lot of conversations start. And I got an idea. Like what should, and obviously, I'll give you an opportunity at the end to leave contact info and all of that stuff. So if people want to follow up, they can, but like mindset wise, I always like to start with the mind. Like what should people be thinking about? Like what questions should they be asking themselves before they make a call?
Am I in a space right now where I can be open-minded to hear out another way to improve our business? Because I don't work well with leaders who are not open-minded. It's just not going to go far. And that's okay. I don't want to work with everyone. I want to work with with growth-minded leaders who care about their people. And so if those two questions are yes, yes, I'm open-minded, and yes, I care about my people, and probably a third, I'm tired of healthcare costs. I'm frustrated by them. And also, I think it'd be really great if we could have more money to reinvest in our people. And so I think it might be helpful, Adam, just to share a few ideas on what other high-performing companies are doing right now. Think that might be good?
Go for it.
Okay. I get really excited, so I'm going to give you three.
I'm excited too. Come on, man. Give us the news.
I'm going to give you the three so you can bring me back if I forget. So let's
do it.
Let's cover. Gosh, let's make sure we hit health, wealth, and safety. Let's make sure we hit just general surgeries, and then let's hit pharmacy.
Got it.
Examples. Okay, so let's start with health, wealth, and safety. If you think about your people, your employees in an organization, or if you are the employee, you're covered 24/7 by your employer. You have your health plan, and during the day you have workers' compensation. And so you're essentially insured 24/7 by your employer. And then you have this third layer, which is your retirement plan. You know, you want to work for a company that helps you on the path for retirement one day. And what's been really cool over the last 2 years, Adam, is bringing in all three of these components together so we can get a holistic picture to start this whole conversation. What's going on with healthcare? What's going on in our workers' comp world? What claims are we having? What's a problem? And then what's the retirement readiness for our people? Because I think something that a lot of leaders are realizing that they're not aware of is what's the future liability of our current workforce? And if we peel a layer off the onion there, if a 55-year-old employee is not on the track to retire, they're going to keep working. And if they keep working, we're increasing our liability because the fact of the matter is older people utilize healthcare more. Older people are going to have higher work comp claims. So if we think about this holistically and put all three of these components together, we start to think differently. And then we can break each one down more specifically. So healthcare, obviously, my passion. What can we do? Well, we think about our large claims and we think about all of these surgeries. I'll give you an example. Last week, we were in a strategic review with a client and we're looking at 2021 things, data, large claims. And there's like 1,500 employees and there were about a dozen knee surgeries. It doesn't matter what industry we're in. Knee surgeries, back surgeries, pregnancies, these are things that happen with any company. And they're happening more often. So the CFO looked at the numbers and said, hey, there are two bills here for $35,000 on the dot. What are the chances of that? And we looked into it. And we say, oh, yeah, this is an independent healthcare facility here in the area. They actually tell us their cost up front. They're transparent about how much it costs. If someone needs a knee surgery, let's just make them go there. As you can imagine, the HR person in the team said, absolutely not. Do you know how much I would have to deal with if we made people go somewhere specific to get a surgery? I mean, it was comical. We said, okay, let's see if we can bridge the gap and create a win-win solution. And we said, okay, what if we said, hey, if you need a knee surgery, go anywhere you want to. But if you choose to go to this independent, high quality, but also affordable place of care, we will pay for that knee surgery in its entirety. You won't have to pay a dime.
Wow. I would go to that one.
Right? In the least, you would check the reviews. You would you would try to get an appointment with that doctor so you could learn more. Because that's $5,000 easily that you would be paying. And the reason we're able to do that, Adam, is because knee surgeries can cost anywhere from $30,000 to $120,000
Wow.
for the same exact procedure.
Yeah.
Because hospitals don't have to release their prices. They don't have to tell us how much things cost ahead of time. So it's the burden is on the employer to say, hey, we are taking control. We want to incentivize our people to be on this journey with us. If they want to join us and be wise consumers, we want to say thank you. We want to pay for that surgery. We want to give diapers to our employee who decides to have a baby at a high quality and affordable hospital. We'll say, hey, go anywhere you want to have your baby, but if you choose to go to one of these 3 hospitals in this area, we'll send diapers to your door. Tell us what brand you want, and we'll send them to your door the first of every month for the first year.
Wow.
Baby is alive.
That's creative.